examples in a moment. So I asked if you could, forgive the pun, think outside the box when you're using recyclables and what typically are boxes. So many of our students tend to think, I'm doing construction, I must make a town. Not true. Here's a nice little one that shows you methods of transport. I like the way this is jolly. It doesn't have much movement in it, but you can tie on to it and it'll pull along. Nice finishes are achieved using straws, feathers and paint. Here's another one. This looks like you, Pete. We've got characters in my community, I think this began life as, and children could look at themselves, they could make portraits, and it is boxy looking, but it has a finish which is using fabric and fibre rather than paint. A lot of fun in those ones. This one, often children work successfully together in twos or groups on construction activities. That's because they can hold and help. It builds cooperation skills. And this fantasy piece has a moving part, more than one moving part, but this is a drawbridge which allows you into the fantasy castle. And then it was designed to be pulled along. I think it's fun the way they've used lots of different forms and then this glittery finish. Keep glitter out of the kids' sight until they've done other finishes like with paint. We used a nice bit of colour theory as they painted this towards the finish. So we've greens working from dark to lighter greens at the top here, deep blues making their ways through tinting up to paler blues, and then we have reds, the warm end of the colour spectrum. I'm going to move that out of the way. We don't always have to start with boxes. This little chap began life as a Wellington. We called it the Shoe Project some time back. And there's lots of fun to be had by working on an existing item. You can make animals, giraffes. There was a whole lot of different items we made. Just fun characters which began life as a Wellington boot or old shoes. There's always an interest in masks, not only at Halloween time, and this is a shop bought mask. We can do great masks with children in the construction materials. One that I like to do myself is get children to make binoculars. And you can say, hey, I'm looking out for good behaviour. This is made using egg boxes and various sculptural recyclable materials. Here's the basis of a mask. I'll just show you the inside of it first. Lots of different cut-ups of boxes and containers, a cornflakes box here. And when we were making masks just for fun, for wearing, for decoration. There we go, mask. The material on this, and some of you will be familiar with it, is Modrock, plaster bandage. Very sturdy, but you could also use regular paper, especially sugar paper is good with paste. Other masks, I'm just going to put a few out in front. We can base them on plastic masks which are available in the educational supply shops. The Modrock goes on top. One layer is often sufficient, 2 layers is probably better. And we can take aspects from different times, different eras, cultures. We can use a variety of paint or fabric and fibre decorative outcomes. And here's one that reminds me of myself. We could take people from my family. Another outcome which is slightly different than these masks, make a dinner. why don't you? Paper plate. It doesn't look so great now. Sure doesn't, Pete? Bit old. We've got picture frames that were made on cardboard bases with some wadding. Nice little way to let children make a present for the people at home, or to make a frame for somebody that they love. You can do it with a mirror also. Some of these show the Modrock in action. I was doing my most recent piece with third years was chatterboxes. I wanted a moving part that could be used to speak to children. So you can see that the Modrock is on the box now, and we've got googly eyes. We're making a bit of a monster. Here's another fellow. Do you know what this is? Rather odd, but he's supposed to be a mouse. He's lost an eye, unfortunately. There goes his tail. I like this one. Owen made this. Owen Myrna. It's a chatterbox again. He's a bug. And the boxes were just scored and then reinforced, and various items come together. Children have the crack doing stuff like this. I've mentioned before to some of you that we'll also be doing things that involve papier-mâché, and they work into plastic molds or containers. It's the opposite to the work on the mask, where we lay layers over this mask. Using something like this, we put layers into it of sugar paper and PVA glue. When it dries, it's removable, and we can make something. These were to do with Patrick's Day items. We can make, I think we made a Patrick's Day tea set. Other things you can do, just as a quick mention, you can take existing objects, work on a hat, put your own twist on it, work on an existing box or container and put your own twist in it. Don't forget that you can use card and just roll it. This was representing one of the at Sandy Mount, the lighthouse, or not the lighthouse, can't remember. This had an electric circuit going through it. And mobiles, last but not least, are a nice way to go in construction. Things that can hang, things that can make noise. All is a lot of fun. So I hope you give it a go.